Alright guys, this video is dedicated to my buddy John Houston. Really cool friend, avid collector. He is actually looking for Super Nintendo games right now. Well, I would say Super Nintendo games in boxes. So if you have a box that you might need, help him out. He really appreciate it. Alright guys, let's get into the video. We're going to be talking about the Super Nintendo collection. Man, been holding off on this one for a while, and I'll go over a couple of reasons why in a bit. But I first got the Super Nintendo back in Christmas of '91. I still remember getting it. My mom was mad at me because she found out I was trying to peek at my presents, and she could tell I wasn't good at it like my brother was, like peeking at, kind of like peeking in the presents and seeing what it was without her knowing. So I didn't see what it was at first, but the box was shaped like a Super Nintendo box, so I was figuring it was, but I got in trouble for trying to open it, so I couldn't see until Christmas. But when Christmas came, I got the system, very happy. Super Mario World came with it, and this is back when the games came with the systems, which was really nice. We had around, I think we had we took us like 15 minutes to figure out how to turn the system on after we got all the hookups in, because the switch was like that little weird button. Was really happy with the system overall when I first got it, you know. Super Mario World, as I call it, Super Mario Brothers 4, a fantastic game, and it really helped me start looking at certain games in a different light, because in the Nintendo era, I kind of fell off from those graphics. I wanted to kind of move on, so Super Nintendo was right up my alley. In this video, I'm going to go over 10 of my probably my favorite games on the system. That could change overall during time and everything like that, but just want to kind of show you guys what I have for the system, what it means to me, why I still have a lot of games for it. The reason I've been holding off on this video is because I had a bunch of Super Nintendo games that I've collected over the years, and I just kind of I wasn't playing them, so I got rid of them. You know, I got these games for extremely cheap and everything like that. It was a lot of RPGs, things like that, but after a while, it's like, you know what, man, I'm just not going to play this stuff. I just don't have time to play it anymore. Or there's easier ways to play it. Now, I have the SNES Mini now, so it's easier to play a lot of games on that system. And as well as it has HDMI, so you can hook it to your modern television. It just didn't feel right having a bunch of these games that I wasn't really playing anymore. So, but Super Nintendo, fantastic system. Probably now, it's probably my third favorite Nintendo system. You know, first being the Switch and the second being the GameCube, but great system, and I had a lot of fun with it. So pretty much in this video, we're going to go over 10 of my favorite games for that system, and we're going to go ahead and start right now. Here is the Magical Quest series for the Super Nintendo. Now, the first two came out for the system. The third one did not, only come out in Japan, so this is repro copy in English. But these are Capcom made games. When Capcom made Disney games, I mean, they put a whole lot of effort into them. These are top-notch games, great platformers. If you haven't played these games, they are something you should take interest in picking up. They're a lot of fun. Each game is a bit different. Well, I won't say different, but it's you go to a different type of world and everything like that. So it's really a lot of fun. I think the third one is the best one. That one is my favorite one, but it's up to you guys to choose which one you like better. It's better to get all three of these games so you can choose. But yeah, this Magical Quest is just a lot of fun. The 2D sprites are outstanding. The gameplay is arcadey like. It's great. It's great fun, guys. So definitely check these ones out if you have a chance to see them. Like I said, I remember the first two being still very cheap. They shouldn't be hard to get. The third one is a reproduction in English, so you know, just remember that. But anyways, Magical Quest series, check them out. Next game here, probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups of all time on the Super Nintendo, and that is Sonic Blast Man Part 2. Sonic Blast Man Part 2, I remember playing this with my friends back in the day, and just this is a whole lot of fun. It was definitely an improvement over the first game. The first game felt really stiff, and Sonic Blast Man looked weird. Still looks weird in this one, but he's not as stiff, and he has friends along this time. So two-player beat-em-up games are what it was about back then. I hated back then when the Final Fight had came out and it was only one player. It's just they shouldn't even have put it out if it was going to be like that. You know, a beat-em-up game should have at least co-op play in it. That should be essential for all beat 'em up games. But anyways, this game is a lot of fun. If you see this one out there, I mean, it is kind of expensive now, but hey, if you got a SNES Classic, throw it on there. Sonic Blastman 2, it actually was in the arcades in the beginning, but it was like one of those punching games. It wasn't like the Super Nintendo version where it's a beat 'em up. They were like those punching Fist of North Star type games, but yeah. But anyway, Sonic Blastman 2, check this one out. Alright, so a lot of people don't know this. I was a big Power Rangers fan back when I was young, and I remember when the movie came out, I was really pumped up, and the game had came out, and this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, for Super Nintendo. Now, just to let you guys know, this is kind of like based off the movie, because this one feels like more like a movie if it was a Saturday morning cartoon or show or whatever, not a cartoon. The Genesis version is actually more based off the movie than this version is, but either way, this one is a lot of fun. I love how you go in the background and come back to the foreground when you're fighting enemies and everything like that, and then you can change to the Rangers and all that stuff. The only problem with this one is that you don't even get to use any of the Zords in this game. You can only just use the Rangers pretty much, and that's okay. I mean, like I said, it's more of a Saturday morning a TV show version of the movie than it is like, I don't know. But anyways, check this one out. If you're a Power Rangers fan, I think this is one of the better games out there for the system. It's awesome fun. That's all I can really say. It's been years since I went back and played this, but still, good game. All right, so next game here is what Final Fight 1 should have been, pretty much, for the Super Nintendo. Final Fight 3, also known as Final Fight Tough. This one, I feel, makes up for the first two Final Fight games. Final Fight 1 was missing co-op levels and all other stuff. Final Fight 2 was just more of a long slugfest. Long levels were too long, didn't have any moves, boring enemies. It was all over the place. But 3 actually fixed a lot of issues. You get super moves in this game. Guys return. It's just like you have a bunch of moves at your arsenal, and it's just like a lot of fun. I consider this probably the best Final Fight game out there, next to the arcade one. I mean, it's hard to push out the arcade one because of the music and certain stuff in that game, but this one I could consider. It's definitely a contender for being the best Final Fight game out there, next to Final Fight CD and stuff like that. So if you see this one, definitely check it out. I remember back in the day when I had this game, I remember talking about, because Street Fighter 3 was coming out. We said I kept guessing that, like, before Street Fighter 3 it came out, and we were talking about the Street Fighter 3 was called 3. I always said, figured out that one of the characters in this game, Dean, was going to be added to that game, and he never was. But it's kind of funny, years later, that Lucia, I think her name is, she was added to Street Fighter 5 recently, so they added her. So I guess that's kind of cool. I would have preferred Dean being in the game, but still, pretty cool. Alright, so this game is kind of weird because I didn't get this until years later. Back when the Super Nintendo was out, it was hard to find out when games were coming out sometimes, or what stores would carry those games. You'd look in magazines and possibly call the store and see if they would have stuff. The first fighting game I was good at was Fatal Fury Part 2. I went to the arcade in my local town, and I would beat the game on a quarter. That's how good I got at the game. So I wanted the Super Nintendo version, of course. Nobody was selling it that we knew of, and I've always saw it in magazines, but I could never find it anywhere. It really sucked. But years later, I finally picked it up, and here's Fatal Fury 2 and Fatal Fury Special for the Super Nintendo. I think these are actually good ports of the games. I would have immensely enjoyed them if I had played them when I was younger, definitely. But I guess it's better late than never, I would say. But Fatal Fury 2 is still what I consider one of my favorite fighting games of all time. It's definitely in my top 5. I'm still good at it to this day. Special was, I guess you could say, it was a better game technically, but still they kind of messed up some stuff in the game to me that Fatal Fury 2 did a lot better. But anyways, still decent fighting game. If you see this one out there, check it out. I mean, obviously there's better versions of it, but hey, we're talking about the Super Nintendo right now, so go out there and get you the Super Nintendo versions of these games. Alright, so next two games here are games I got in Christmas of '92. That was a hell of a Christmas, man. I mean, all the Christmases were good, but just this was to get two Super Nintendo games in one Christmas was insane. So, first game here, Turtles in Time. I really wanted this bad, and wanted some arcade action at home, and this game did not disappoint. Had a fun time with this game. played it all the way through. Played it on hard mode because I think you get the better ending, or just the game plays a lot better if you play it on hard mode. But this game is still a blast to this day, and I believe this game is still like one of the more sought after games for the Super Nintendo. So beat 'em up action, probably one of the last best beat 'em up games for the Ninja Turtles, I would say. Yeah, I like the arcade version better of this game, but still, this one added a lot of cool things, like the Technodrome level with Shredder and everything like that. That was pretty cool. The Rat King is a boss. That was cool, you know, even though he's easy as hell. But just, man, check this one out, guys, if you haven't. I'm sure a lot of you have. The next game I got for Christmas, that same Christmas, is Contra 3. I don't have a custom case for it. I got to print one out, but Contra 3 Alien Wars really just showed me what Contra could do. I couldn't believe just how crazy it was. Crazy that turtle boss, what boss? RoboCorpse, I think his name was, the one that burst through the wall in the 3rd level and he's breathing fire at you. That was insane. It looked hella demonic too. But this Contra game was tough, and I hated it at first because there was no code to get 30 lives, because I wanted to get through it, but you just have to use skill in this game to get better at it. But I gotta admit though, about a couple weeks later, I got a Game Genie, and I used that to have infinity lives so I could just enjoy the game with my cousins. But eventually though, I got good at the game as well, and I didn't have to use the Game Genie. But you know, as a kid, you know, you kind of want to get further sometimes when you get stuck and you just want to move along, and I did that. And but I guess it helped me get better at the game by figuring out what to do. So as I used the Infinity Lives code, and later I just stopped using it and used the 7 lives. I still use 7 lives, and I was able to beat the game like that. So it was pretty cool. But Contra 3, do you like the footage you're seeing here? I mean, everybody likes Contra 3. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about Contra 3 ever. But maybe this will be a first time. Let me know in the comments what you think about Contra 3. Alright, so, oh my god, this game right here is probably the first scary game I played for the Super Nintendo. And I had a choice between this one and Castlevania 4. I chose this one, and this is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, if you don't... I remember I was at home alone for a little bit. I forgot how old I was. But I was playing this game, and the house was dark. And if you play the intro of the game, you know how eerie it is when Arthur goes to the castle and he meets the princess and you see something like coming towards the castle slowly. Now, thinking you're in a dark house and the music's playing loud and you're like, what the hell? So I kind of tripped myself out. Very eerie moment, but this game just has a lot of demonic monsters in it, and it did not disappoint. It's one of the harder Super Nintendo games I played, but I was able to get good at this game. I beat this game eventually. It was these games are kind of cheap in the way that you have to beat the game once and then go back through it again with this bullshit weapon that they make you use to fight the last boss. But my favorite level in this game is the Ghoul's stomach. That was one of my favorite levels because that's one of the levels I got good at, like really fast. Like that level was insanely hard, but I was able to get good at it. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the Ghoul's stomach, where the Ghoul's stomach, like if you go to certain points, his stomach starts to growl or whatever like that, or get angry, and it kind of turns around and everything like that. Pretty crazy stuff. But anyway, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, I think this is the better Ghosts and Goblins game, but a lot of people argue between this one and the Genesis version, which is called Ghouls and Ghosts, but I like this one better. I love the double jump system. Alright, so next game here, a game I got into a few years ago. This was the Fireman for the Super Nintendo. Fireman is a fantastic game. I'm surprised this game didn't come out to America, but I think it came out late in the Super Nintendo's life cycle, so I guess by that time a lot of Nintendo wanted to move on from it, so this wasn't able to come out to America. But if you haven't played the Fireman, fantastic game. You pretty much go in this building trying to rescue people who was on fire. I mean, well, the people are not on fire yet, but you rescue people, try to get them out there, and you try to put out the fire. And at the end of the level, you fight like a fiery boss, kind of. It's very arcadey, like a lot of fun. You have a partner with you that helps you out. He uses his axe. You got your hose and everything like that. So you have to crawl through certain areas to get past fires, to rescue people, things like that. Game is very tense, pulls you in. Has a pretty good story to it as well. So the story will pull you in. I mean, seriously, dealing with fires is pretty insane. So I've dealt with fire in my life, and those intense flames will drive you crazy. So I have respect for all my firemen in the world, man. They really, man, you gotta have a strong heart to be someone to go through a fire and rescue someone. But anyways, the Fireman game, definitely something to check out. This is a reproduction of the PAL English version. I don't know how much the game goes for, but definitely I chose the power route because obviously I just wanted to play the game. So definitely something you guys would want to pick up out there. And last but not least, we have Sparkster for the Super Nintendo. I couldn't wait for a Rocket Knight Adventure game to come to the Super Nintendo. I was so mad at Rocket Knight Adventures that came out on Genesis only back when it did come out. And I was like, why didn't we get the game on Super Nintendo? It would have been much better. So we got I would say a side game for the Super Nintendo, and I feel like this one was the better version of the two games that are on the Genesis. I thought this was the best one. Do I still feel like that to this day? Yeah, somewhat. I have a little bias for this one, I'll say. I mean, honestly, Rocket Knight Adventures is the best one in the whole series, but this one had a lot of charm to it, and I like this one a lot. Good music, has some cool moments in it. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to this game, I still have not beat it. I always get to the Rock'em Sock'em Robots part where you fight the Axel in space, and I cannot beat Axel, man. It gets on my damn nerves still to this day, and that I haven't been able to beat him. It's just such an annoying boss battle. It feels like it's all over the place. But anyway, still, I like this game a lot. Definitely check this one out if you have a Super Nintendo. And that is my games list for Super Nintendo. Now, you know how we do this. We're going to go over my full collection that I have right now for the Super Nintendo, and then I will end the video from there. So, let's go. Alright, so some of you may not have liked my official top 10 list here, but I gotta admit, it always changes here and there, at least some of the games. I went through this video before, and I kind of like had some different titles on there, but you know, you just gotta go with how you're feeling at the moment, and those games were my choices. But now you guys can see pretty much everything I have for the system as of now. I used to have a lot more, like I said earlier in the video, but just a lot of it I just was not playing or had any interest in playing. One of the reasons I got a lot of it because it was so cheap, and it looked like it'd be something I might want to play later, but eventually 2-3 years passed and I haven't touched it, and I said, you know what, I gotta get rid of this stuff. So this is what's left, and yes, there's a lot of beat 'em ups, not too many what I would say RPGs. I left the RPGs to my SNES Classic pretty much. The only ones I really had on the system from back in the day was Secret of Mana, which I don't know what happened to my version of the game. It was actually missing, but I'll have to pick that up eventually someday. There's good old Contra 3. I got to make a custom case for that. Goof Troop, which my buddy X traded me, so thanks a lot for that, man. Very good game. Super Chase HQ, which I think is a hidden gem for the system. And this is that Tokyo Disneyland game I talked about in the pickups video before. Cats Run, Famicom games. That one's with some bad Sun Fade, Magical Poppin', reproduction, and as well as Cotton 100%. Really good shoot 'em up. And now we're going to look at the box games I have. So of course we're looking at Fatal Fury 2 here, Fatal Fury Special. If you go down here, oh yeah, I got this from my friend Danny back in the day. Poppin' Twin B, PAL version in box. People were actually looking for this game. Really cool, shoot 'em up, I would say. Clock Tower, I got this from some dude. I forgot who I got this from, but very cool. Comes with a map, manual in English, and by the way, that Clock Tower is a reproduction in English. So let you guys know. Double Dragon, Return of Double Dragon is a remake. Well, it's actually the Japanese version of Super Double Dragon, which is the better version. Star Fox 2 in box, which I got from Jason about 1.5 years ago. Star Ocean, Time Walk Games version. You guys remember Time Walk Games, one of the first popular people to start doing reproduction games. And over here, we have Tales of Fantasia. My buddy John Houston actually hooked me up with the box for this. John, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Came with a manual as well. And Unholy Night, you can get this game on Amazon as of right now for like $20. I mean, it's not a good game, but the packaging is pretty cool. And here we have Super Guskin, Oyoyo. And yeah, that's it, guys. See you later.